Alright, so I'm gonna be doing something a little
I've
bit
learned a
different
lot from my experiences.
than we had been doing before, with the fact that this is going to be at least slightly scripted video. Because this is just something that has to be talked about. Not a lot of people, especially streamers, mention it, and I've seen a few. And someone else who is, a smaller creator like me named Mika Ray. She makes really nice videos, much better put together than mine because, she has like actual editing software, and I don't. If you can give me tips on like at least cheap or how to like pirate some software, that would be nice because, oh boy, I cannot do any of the things I wish I could do. But I'm here to talk about the problem with Lucy. She has a lot of problems. The fact that so many people hate her just to hate her. The fact that she feels like ass to play. The fact that she's actually garbage tier in this game. And the fact that none of her abilities feel worth it. I guess we should start with first time, or the fact that this has been a long time. We kind of all knew that this was going to happen. We've played her for a while. The way people complain about her constantly. She gets nerfed or ignored or, whatever. But it's gotten to the point where it's ridiculous. Many complain about, the Mercy Mafia or whatever. But the real threat is the hate train. People just jump on the moment they can. Especially with female characters like Mercy. Mercy is, canonically this pacifist character who wants to help everyone. She wants to heal everyone. She wants all the wars to stop. And, she doesn't shoot people 90% of the time. She kind of does everything from behind, from a distance. She distances herself from it. Staff, playing, behind her team usually. The fact that she doesn't need to aim very much unless she's pulling. All exactly what's going to lead to her getting so much hate. Just perfectly encapsulates it. Especially with her angelic portrayal that she has. But with her, it seems to be a little bit more extra than it is with other people. Heroes, I should say. And that, I think, is the main reason why she has been ignored for so long. Yeah, there's a lot of people that love her and want her to be good. There's a lot of people who don't care either way. But the amount of people who hate her and are so ungodly vocal about it is what has landed us. So, and yes, I am going to say that. I'm going to say it with my whole ass chest, and no one's going to convince me otherwise. But I'm not going to argue if Rez is good or bad for the game. I'm not going to if she's healthy or not for the game, because you could make that specific argument for any of the characters at any point. There's always something about every character that could be seen as not good for the balance of the game or the game in general. But I am going to touch on some things that Blizzard really needs to work on for her, because this is just getting out of hand. Many people agree, in all ranks, that Mercy is horrendous right now, and it's been coming on for a while. I've seen bronzes say she's terrible. I've seen gold plats say she's bad. I've seen top 500 people say she's in an absolutely terrible place. Some of her best players in top 500 can't play her this season because of how bad she is. We have top 500 streamers who are known for kind of, if Mercy's good, being like, we need to tune this out a little bit. Now saying she needs severe help. She's not doing well. She went from one of the highest picked heroes in the game to now one of the lowest and least picked heroes in the game. And even I myself have found my I'm someone who I don't mind switching. Oh, my team's not doing well. Yeah, let me switch. Something that can help. Lina, Kiri usually if no one else is playing Kiri. You know, I'm not afraid to switch. I'm not a Mercy one trick. But Mercy is still my main hero, the hero that made me fall in love with this game. Cat, nicely stepped in. And it just sucks seeing a character I absolutely adore feel like complete garbage. She feels sucky to play. She feels like she does nothing. Every ability she has is basically, in some way, an ability someone else has that they can do better. And it's to the point where nothing has really changed about her since the beginning. Well, I said the beginning of the game. Nothing has really changed about her in years. Yet she somehow doesn't feel like Mercy. They've made a bunch of changes to her since Overwatch 2 dropped with, you know, notations that they were gonna keep an eye on it, keep tweaking it. Or, you know, that it was changes, other changes were made partially to help her. One of these was her Guardian Angel, her GA. They absolutely gutted that towards the beginning of the game for no real reason. No one was really complaining about GA. Not at all. I hardly ever saw people complain about GA unless they were like really rank and couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. But even at the same time, Mercy's at really low ranks don't really use her GA that often or in ways that are actually useful. So at that point, it's just a skill issue.
It's go time.
I don't care, it's just a skill issue. It has been 1.5 seconds since the beginning of Overwatch. No one complained about it, and if they did, it was a very small minority. They destroyed that. And then they keep making tweaks to it and all that kind of stuff. And then the last time we heard, they're like saying they were going to keep an eye on it. And Mercy players left, right, and center have been complaining about her GA feeling terrible since then, and they've done nothing. They haven't even really mentioned her at all. And then there is her damage boost. They went from, I think, 20 or 30% to 25, which matches Zen's. At that point, why choose Mercy when you can play Zen? Because that 25 goes for the entire team, not just for one person. Of course, it is kind of hard in certain ways getting the whole team to shoot the person with the ult, but still, it is better on paper and usually in practice than Mercy's damage boost. And they haven't really touched her healing at all that I remember, except for the triage that they added and then took away because it was admittedly way too strong. Of course, that was the first time in ages that Mercy was actually a strong character and was really interesting and fun to play around with. It's been a while since that. I kind of miss that now.
They dare to make me their enemy.
Only thing Mercy's ever really wanted before now was the GA reversion back to how it was, because that's what made it fun. Cat complaining because she can't, you know, get outside because they opened my window before and we're getting outside. Fun times. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. I have my mic gain turned the way down. But she's currently considered one of the worst heroes in the game, and they keep nerfing and nerfing her without any compensation for us. Then it all got worse with the DPS passive. They put it out 20%, everyone hated it. Hell, even other DPS hated that damn thing. And when they nerfed it down to 15, they mentioned, oh, this will hopefully help Lifeweaver and Mercy feel a little more impactful and better to play. What do? They turn around and buff it back to 20% without even so much as breathing an idea that we may get any changes for Mercy. Putting her back into the trash bin where she was before, except worse now because of all the changes to the heroes since season 9. The fact that she didn't get a single compensatory buff when they put that back up to 20% is absolutely ridiculous. Doing that caused it basically a nerf on her healing, even though they didn't touch her healing. Technically, it could be said that it's a buff to her damage boost, because now her damage boost can technically help kill people faster. Is that really true? No. It don't matter. Her damage boost is still not as good as Zen Orb is. Anything she does, another support can do 1,000 times better. Like I mentioned, Zen Orb, better version of her damage boost. Fury and Bap's immortalities, better version of res, because it keeps them from dying in the first place, and you don't have to waste the time with the res animation that you hardly can ever actually get off. And it still keeps them alive, where they can still do stuff during that time. It's just a better version of res. And that's pretty much the only two abilities she has. Her GA, you can't keep up with your teammates as well as before. There's so many times where I've seen other Mercies higher ranked than me, and I've seen myself get left behind to die because I just literally cannot physically keep up with my teammates who can just get out so fast and so easily. And a lot of people are like, well, maybe you just shouldn't be in the place where you're in danger. Sometimes you have to, and sometimes people dive you and you have no choice. You can't choose to be like, oh, they're coming for me, let me just somehow get far enough away to not be bothered by these people who are probably coming after me to begin with. My thoughts are going to keep the DPS passive at 20%. They need to do something. We can't have her at the bottom of the barrel. Number one, she's one of the most well-loved heroes. She was one of the most played heroes in the game for a long time. A lot of people might see that in an issue. I don't. In a game with hero shooters where everyone plays differently, every hero is different, you're going to have some more popular than others. It's just how it's going to be. But this goes for any character. No hero should be bottom of the barrel, barely scraping by, can't be used in most games. Like, that's not healthy for the game either. It's not healthy when one hero dominates, and it's not healthy when one hero can hardly be played. It's just not. It's just a show of bad balance and a bad idea of what you're trying to do with that heroes. It just makes it seem like you don't know what you're doing. You're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. Which many people who play this game will say that that is exactly what Blizz are doing. At this point, I almost agree. I know it's likely none of my ideas will happen, because they're obviously scared to death of the people who hate Mercy, and there's a lot of people who play this game who are really reactionary and they hear one thing and they're gonna run with it and make it out to be the worst or the best thing possible, and then they're gonna rally a bunch of people on their side and scream about it until something changes, even if it doesn't turn out to be as broken as they think it is. But here are my ideas. Number one, something I've heard a lot of people mention, I've seen a lot of people mention. Bring back her triage healing. Of course, make it weaker, because I could see with how it was before it still being a little bit too strong. But like, bring it back. It'll help her have more survivability herself. And it'll make it so that her team, she can actually keep her team up better than what she can do now, which is basically not at all. Make her ult, let her GA without a teammate around, kind of like how you would with Vera or Echo, where you push the button and you get a little burst of speed in that one direction. You know, the GA without needing a teammate, especially when you're could make her more survival, make her a little bit more, you know, useful, I guess. Put her damage boost back to the fucking 30% it used to be, please. So that there's a reason to choose her over Zen. I'm not gonna say remove it, because there's really nothing I can think of to remove it with and replace it with. because that's technically her only real way to get damage in without pulling out her glove. And when she has to pull out her gun, the animation and the amount of time it takes to do that just isn't worth it, especially when she does 20 damage a bullet. She does not do enough damage for it to even be worth it to pull out that Glock 90% of the time with these health chains. Like it used to be, oh, we'll give her 5 more bullets so she can, you know, fight better. But I'm dead faster, even if I hit straight headshots from them, then I have a chance of killing them. It's just worthless at this point. Her gun does nothing. Res, honestly, I couldn't care less. They could drop it and get something else. Most Mercy players who play Mercy because they like Mercy really couldn't care less. I've seen a lot of high rank and low rank and mid rank Mercy players be like, honestly, get rid of Res. We hardly get the chance to use it. When we do get to use it, usually we die anyways in place of the person who's getting Res, or it just gets canceled and we die, and it was worthless. You get maybe 3 Reses off an entire game of like 10-15 minutes. It's not worth it. That's not an ability that's worth it. That's worse than it being her ult. Like, honestly. Because it's completely useless. And even in her ult, you can hardly get it off even with this increased movement speed and whatnot. Because Mercy is just a massive target at her times. Mostly because of the res. Also because it's Mercy. And people like to target Mercies. It could be the worst Mercy in the game, and they'd still target her. Just because she's Mercy. I don't know what they could replace the res with because of the fact that it's her, I guess, hero fantasy is what they call it, is very specific. You know, the pacifist doesn't want to hurt anybody type thing unless she absolutely has to. So I don't really know what they could replace it with that would be, you know, fitting for that. But honestly, I just love what they did with Res during the Mirror Watch. That was fun. And that goes to show perfectly that people don't care about Res. And with Mercy feeling like absolute garbage for the past few seasons, and especially now, people adored Mercy in Mirror Watch. It was so much fun. What's sad is the fact that even with her Mythic this season, the Mythic being something that usually makes people play the character no matter what, she's still hardly getting picked. And if she is getting picked, she puts her team at a huge disadvantage, or her team either has to be amazing and hard to carry. It's a little bit exhausting, I guess. She feels awful. She has been for a long while. They've been blatantly ignoring her. People have been mentioning her posts on the official channel, the official forums and everything about, look, do something, here's ideas. She feels terrible, do something. And we've not gotten a single word about it. It's so obvious they're ignoring her because they are scared that people are going to jump them because they hate the character, that they're just going to ignore her. And that's pathetically sad. And I don't really blame them. I wouldn't want to, you know, make a change that will help a large amount of the player base later turn around and get death threats and harassed because I did so. Because there's people who are unhinged enough to do that. Those people need to just be locked away in an asylum, honestly. Sadly, that's most of gaming player base just in general these days, but you know, it's whatever. I feel like I had more stuff to say, but when I was typing this out, I just kind of, you know, I've forgotten a lot of what I was going to say, I guess. It was going to be a lot longer than this, but I think I touched on the main things. I guess if you have any ideas for how they could change her, write them in the comments. Maybe by some absolute fucking miracle, someone from Blizz Team 4 will see this video, which is unlikely, and be like, oh, these are good ideas, and read the comments and see more ideas and be like, yes, good ideas, we'll look into this type thing. Even if they don't tell us, eventually we might, you know, if it happens. Because it has been shown that Blizzard devs have seen videos from creators and made changes in regards to that. I doubt that'll happen with me. I'm too small, and it's Mercy. They're gonna ignore her any chance they get, let's be real. But, you know, you never know. If you like Mercy gameplay, or Kiriko gameplay, or, you know, support gameplay in general, especially now with her feeling like garbage, then let me know. You know, like the video, check out some of my other videos. Maybe subscribe if you feel like I'd be someone you'd be interested in watching. I say go watch Miko Ray's video on this as well. She touches on a few things here similar. And, you know, just don't give up. Don't give up on Mercy. Don't give up on, you know, all of this. Eventually they'll have no choice. They have to do something. Or they're going to get massive backlash from the player base, and they're going to lose a large majority of their player base because of this. Also, if you like other types of games, I have a Horizon Forbidden West playthrough that I'm solely uploading. Actually, fun story. After I finished the original playthrough, the videos were like 30 gigs a piece. Just the recordings. And I might have accidentally maxed out my 1 terabyte hard drive on laptop. So I had to go through for like 3 hours and turn them all into actual videos so that they'd be much, much smaller, because for some reason when I turn in the actual videos, they go into like 5 gigs max. So that was fun. That was the reason why my game started lagging really, really bad toward the end with the frames and whatnot, which is an issue. There's also an issue with the microphone audio. I haven't figured out what's going on with that. But oh well, I've already recorded. I can't really go back and redo it. So I think from like the 4th or 5th video onward, you can't hardly hear me, which really sucks. Because I thought it would be a playthrough that, you know, people would see more of my personality and whatnot, but oh well. Hope you still enjoy it, at least, if you do watch it. If you have any other game suggestions, let me know. If you'd like to see me play Fortnite, sometimes. If you'd like to see me play that, you know, maybe a video here of me doing that, might as well, you know, let me know that too. Overwatch is the only game I play with a mouse and keyboard. I will let you know, so every other game you see me play will be with a controller. But yeah, not sure what else to say. If you liked it, let me know. If you have any ideas that could possibly make this poor character better, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to see ideas that people have. Because some of the ones I've seen on, like, the forums have been absolutely horrendous. Some of the worst things I've ever seen. And if you want to see more of my videos, subscribe and, you know, check out some of my older ones. But I hope you enjoyed. Also, just want to say, if you're gonna be a shitface and fucking come on here being like, ooh, Mercy deserves to be shit, Mercy players suck, and all that kind of shit, fuck off. No one wants you. If you comment on my video saying shit like that, I'm removing your comment and you're being blocked from my channel. I am not here to listen to people's bullshit. I am not here to let people hate on something for no real reason. You clicked on this video because you wanted to. And if you did that just to hate, maybe you need to reevaluate your life a little bit, because that's a little bit sad, a little bit pathetic. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and I will see you all in the next video.
기술이 필요합니다.
최고의 플레이.